Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Nearly Midnight Movie Chat. Tonight we're going to be talking about the Snyderverse and whether or not it's dead. And maybe that's a good thing. So anyway, a lot of fun is going to be had as we start discussing it right now. Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing? Welcome to Nearly Midnight Movie Chat. My name is Matt Jarbo. This is $3 Theater, and I know it's a bit of an incendiary headline, a little bit of a titillating thumbnail and topic of discussion tonight. And here's the reason why I want to talk about the Snyderverse being dead and why that's basically a good thing. Okay, so earlier today, and this is my own promotion, I did a audio commentary for Army of the Dead. Now, I've seen the movie. There's no spoilers in this, but I talk about the production of it, and I talk about what Zack did to get this movie made and what the changes it went through in order to go from its original conception back in 2007 to it coming to a movie theater during a pandemic in 2021. So 14 years to see this thing through from inception to realization, and where Zack finds himself now. And it's always going to be an interesting topic of conversation because a lot of people out there are still desperately clinging to hope, mind you, about the Snyderverse. Oh no, it has to come back. Warner Media would be stupid to do it. Well, and the truth of the matter is they would be stupid, and they are stupid. But they're a multi-billion-dollar company, and multi-billion-dollar companies are going to multi-billion-dollar company, as we talked about last night with the whole Bob Chapek situation. Finance people are going to finance people. That doesn't ever change when it comes to business. And that's where we are right now. We're in a show business. So personal feelings aside, things are what they are. Anyway, let's take a quick look here at the chat. This is great. I love it, by the way. If you were here last night, this first one's going to be, you're going to know it. Andrew Casali says, what the hell is even this question? And I responded back with, after last night, you don't get to talk. And if you haven't seen last night's episode, I really recommend you go back and you give it a watch where we deal with Andrew and him playing Chicken Little with everyone's feelings and emotions for like 45 minutes and stuff like that. It was a terrible timing, terrible time. He screwed us all. Jay here says, gentlemen. How you doing, Jay? How you doing, buddy? Astro Josh. Hello, how you doing? Anthony 123132 says, yeah, Snyder doesn't understand Superman. That's a bold-faced lie, actually. He very much understood Superman for a contemporary standpoint. And it was great. It was great. Eric Sue says, hello, Eddie. Yo, H-Bar, it's $2. Right off the bat, sir. That's right. You paid Enosh more to mention my name on the other channels. I'm just saying. No, anyway. I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you. I'm doing good. I just got home. I was out doing my deliveries tonight, so I'm a little bit later than I wanted to be. But Saturday night, people need their food. People wanted pizza. So now my car smells like pizza. And I want pizza. But I'm trying to not eat after 5 p.m. You know how hard that is to deliver people's pizza when you're hungry? And it's like good pizza. It ain't like Little Caesars or like, Pizza Hut. Even that's pretty easy. But it's just the whole car fills with the garlicky, marinara sauce. And I have a mask on because I'm just being whatever. And then it gets trapped in the mask. So I just smell pizza. It's literal torture. Literal torture. Anyway, Jay here says, hashtag restore the Snyderverse. Well, man, you're going to be saying that for a long time. But look, hear me out before you get all pissy about it. Not you specifically, Jay. I know you're a cool dude. But what I mean is why. We're going to get to that, but let's get some more people that are going to come on in here. Annie Rude, Rude? I want to make sure I said that right there. Says, no, it's not. Also, thanks to Snyder, he made Superman relevant. F the haters. Well, the thing is, the Snyderverse is. Zack Snyder's involvement in it is over. There's no way you can look at what he's saying, like in that Vanity Fair interview or in other places, and say they were anti-Snyder and that they were willfully provocative and that they very passive aggressive and expect to work with that company again. This is Hollywood. All right. Like, this is Hollywood. I just love, people have this massive fascination with, like, it's make-believe. Hollywood is make-believe. They tell stories of heroes fighting villains. It's not really the real world, all right? The good guy doesn't always win in the end. Sometimes Hans Gruber throws John McClane out the window, if you know what I mean. Resident here says, hey, what's up, man? How you doing, RJ? Astro here says, it amazes me that a Netflix original got in almost every theater instead of just landmark theaters. No, it didn't get in almost every. It only went to 600 theaters in Cinemark. You know, like it's still not playing in a lot of theaters. There's well over 4,000 in the country. It's playing in a portion, and they're spread across all 50 states, thankfully. But it's still not that wide, and it's only going to make like 797,000 this weekend by conservative estimates, which is really terrible because the movie is really good. Min here says, yo, at nearly midnight movie chat on my birthday. Very poggers, if I do say so myself. Well, Min, that is a great way to get me to say happy birthday, sir. Happy birthday to you. Do you want me to sing it to you like Marilyn Monroe? Happy birthday, Mr. Min. Happy birthday to you. I'm not going to do any more of that. But anyway, happy birthday, man. Thank you very much. All right. Jolly Critic here says, what's the weirdest movie you've ever seen? That's not porn? I got to think about that one. Vizak here asks, when's the Snyder Cut coming to Blu-ray, though? I believe it in the UK, May 24th. No, nothing here in the United States yet, which is just weird. Anyway, Eddie says, well, I'll be sticking around for this segment, so bring on the story. We're just going to talk about it. This is more of me explaining things. Anyway, Music Man here says, how's it going? It's going good, dude. How you doing? You doing good? You doing good? That's good. First, last, ask the question. Have you ever noticed your face is crooked? Yeah. It's weird. Getting older sucks, man. You start noticing all your imperfections. You know what I mean? Might also be the camera. But no, I'm pretty Picasso'd, you know. Anyway, Leroy Kong here says, I personally think that Zack Snyder is a great man. Warner Brothers handled him unfairly. He is my best director ever. Thank you, Zach. I say screw the Snyder haters. That's right. And I'm not hating on Snyder. People are going to come in here thinking I'm hating on Snyder because I've been like a little controversial on that front lately. But I'm trying to, like, I don't want to like wring everybody's necks over the subject matter, but there are people I just want to like shake, you know, like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Stop it. But you know what? That would be considered physical assault. I don't want to do that. HVAR's here says Snyderverse jail time. Yeah. Min, glad you like that, buddy. Someone's going to probably clip that out and go like, look what Jarbo did. Anyway, Anthony here says, the Superman we got in Justice League should have been the Superman we got from the start, but Superman has to grow as a character, sir. Do you not understand there is such a thing called an arc? You are not the same person tomorrow that you were today, or you are not the same person today that you were yesterday. That's how this works. That is called the evolution of humanity. The entire point of Clark's character was to experience life and to understand the fragility of mankind. There was a lot that went into the character, which is why he is the best on-screen representation. And I'm going to put him above even Reeves. I love Reeves. I like Brandon Routh even. But Cavill tops it, man. Tops it. All right. Blaine here says, a Netflix original in theaters. Guess I missed something. Yeah, no, they did. They've only done this one other time. And that was for Christmas Chronicles 2, which came out last Christmas. But I was sitting in the theater. I'm watching Army of the Dead, and it's all like Netflix presents. And I'm like, Netflix? Oh, right. Yeah, it's Netflix. Holy shit. So I'm watching it, and I'm like, this is like kind of blown away. I waited all the way through the end credits. And at the end, I didn't know if there's going to be like a special little post-credit scene or nothing like that. So I get all the way through the end credits, and then just the Netflix logo flashes on the screen. They do that little like intro thing with like the N. And I just chuckled to myself. Like the first movie I see in theaters in 15 months, and it's a Netflix original. That goes to show you where our world is right now. It is crazy. Anyway. Midman here says, thank you, Matt. That was a nice happy birthday song. Well, you're welcome, sir, and or madam. I don't know what you identify as. All right. So Levan here asks a very good question. It's one that I've thought about, and I thought about bringing up before. It says, should we crowdfund enough money to be a substantial shareholder in AT&T for Warner Brothers to listen to us? Well, that's a very interesting idea. Except the question then becomes, who is the person who is going to then wield that shareholder power? Because it would have to be like enough individual shares spread across a lot of people. They, like a voting block, if you will, could potentially work. But at the same time, a person who has a very single amount, like a large amount of single shares, might be more powerful. But then who do you elect to hold on to that power and be able to wield those thoughts, right? To wield those kind of decisions. And the reality of it is there's probably not you could sit there right now and just go, oh, I can name off 5 people I think could be able to do it. The reality of it is this: anyone who says they want to do it would be the person that you don't want to hire. Because the thing is, if people are trusting that person with their money and putting their faith in that person to go to AT&T and to wield, more or less kind of like, whip out their dick, if I'm going to use that kind of an analogy, and then try to force them to restore the Snyderverse, it's going to be a tough one. There's a lot of money at play, and the fandom is there, but they don't have enough. There's not enough money in the fandom, I think, to put up $100 million or some shit like that. You know what I mean? There's just that anyway. All right. So let's see here. All right. Music Man says Cavill does top it. He's legit Superman from the comic book personality and all motherfuckers. All very true. Astro here says Netflix regularly puts their films in landmark theaters all the time. I saw a bunch there. They don't, they might put the ones that they want to do for theatric for award season, because in order to get nominated for an Oscar, you have to actually be in the theater. There's rules and regulations for that. And they've actually tried to alter those rules. Actually, it was Steven Spielberg who was leading the charge on this in order to make it harder for Netflix to get into the Oscar race. I'm not even kidding you. Like the Cannes Film Festival has actually done a lot to make it to they really started going after streaming companies a couple of years ago. They were being really, really, really obtrusive and trying to they're just trying to block them every step of the way. And you can't fight the inevitability. Of course, now with COVID, it's like everything's on a streaming service. So that is what it is. Anyway, Ryan here says, I hope to see more streaming services premiering their films in theaters before being shown on their platform. I would like that too. And as they put more of these movies out there in this fashion, I think they'd be pretty good. I think one of the key things that's going to be fascinating to see is going to be whether or not the Snyder Cut ever comes out to the theaters. I think that could be something that's interesting as well. All right. Let's see. Leroy Kong here says the Snyderverse should continue. WB are cowards and clowns. The Hamadaverse will not work. Well, here's the thing with that though, right? Here's again, this is the cold, hard reality. Okay. This is the brass tacks, cold, hard reality. A lot of people need to just they need to take it. I would rather you guys chew it rather than it turn into a suppository, if you know what I mean. But here's the cold, hard reality of it. Snyder's films, the ones that Zack was making, they kept getting increasingly and increasingly more expensive. All right. One of the reasons why Hamada was brought in was very similar to Tom Rothman over at Sony, was to streamline production and lower the budgets. Now, is that to say that Zack himself wouldn't be able to work with his line producer to lower the budget? No, absolutely, 100%. But another problem with that too is are they getting the money from the ancillary markets, right? Are they getting all the promotional tie-ins? Are they getting cash from that? Is it worth it to go up against the prints and advertising that's going to be needed in order to push this movie out to as many people as humanly possible? Then, of course, you have the home video market. How well did digital sales do versus retail sales? There's so much more that goes into this kind of thing than a lot of people understand. And the thing is, it's like a lot of people who talk about the industry have never actually worked in the industry, and they don't understand how any of it really operates. And that's not to say that they are wrong in their opinion. It's their opinion. But there is a reality that goes along with a lot of this behind the scenes. And there's a lot that happens that I'm not a fan of. And I would love to see it do something different. But the thing is, Hamada was brought in to streamline and to lower budgets. And that's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. And the Snyder movies are expensive. Maybe they can find a way to lower the price down going to HBO Max. Maybe by spreading it out over a miniseries that could work. But right now, it's just not in the cards. And the thing is, we're going to talk about why that's powerful. All right, anyway, here. H Bart's here, another $5. Thank you, sir. Says, I got a region-free player. I'm getting Zack Snyder Justice League this month. Need to get rid of that Justice League stain on my shelf. Are you going to can you make a video? Are you going to destroy the disc? You know, I could tell you something to do with it. I could show you how to mail it to Joss Whedon because I know how. I could. It'd be very easy to do. It'd be very funny, I think, if everyone sent their copy of Justice League to Joss Whedon and they just go, I don't want it anymore. You can have it back. This can't hurt me anymore, except it can because that's considered canon and it's, it is what it is. Anyway, I can show you how to do that stuff. Anyway, Carlo here says, what about that doesn't excuse the stupid Hamada multiverse? And he's the one in charge. He's the one calling the shots. I agree with you that the multiverse is an excuse to not build anything, but they're actually coming at it from the perspective of that they want it to build something, but they need good storytellers to run it. As I said on Enosh's stream earlier, when they were talking about with Zack coming back within 2 years and that whatever. I'm like, look, man, they paid J.J. Abrams $500 million to develop content. A large amount of that is DC related content because they want him to reboot DC like he did with Star Trek and Star Wars. We all know how that's going to go. So, but the general audience though might take to it. And that's kind of the point. The general audience kind of needed to be pulled kicking and screaming into this conversation because the general audience was given substandard products for both Batman v Superman and Justice League theatrically. So you know what? We're going to have to wait and see on this one. Let's see here. Jacob says, thoughts on China banning Shang-Chi and Eternals. Have they banned them? Because I haven't heard they banned them yet. Let's see. Is it banned in China? Because I haven't heard that. Let me take a quick look here. All right. So Screen Geek. Okay. Heroic Hollywood says they may not release in China. The news comes from the observation that the CCTV6 China movie channel left out both Shang-Chi and Eternals from its list of upcoming U.S. releases. That doesn't necessarily mean that the films have been banned, but it's certainly not a good sign either. Marvel's highly anticipated Eternals also has an interesting connection to the country. Its Academy Award-winning director Chloe Zhao is surprisingly prohibited from visiting China after a 2013 interview with Filmmaker magazine where she said, "It goes back to when I was a teenager in China, being in a place where there are lies everywhere." Maybe. But the thing, here's the thing with that. Here's how that's going to work, right? This is going to be very, very simple. They're just going to pay more money. They want to get into China. Right now, they need to get into China. Those movies are designed for a worldwide audience, especially Shang-Chi. They're going to be fine. Why would Shang-Chi get booted out of that too? China likes money, whatever, dude. China's full of, look, I know I'm personally banned from China. I've said some mean things about the regime, but China likes money. All right. Money will trump communism in that particular case. Now, Music Man here does ask a quick question here. Are all Oscars bought? How does it work? Well, it's not that they're bought. The term bought is subjective. It's not that the voters are sucked up to by the studio. When they say bought, what they're talking about is advertising and the push. Harvey Weinstein made aggressive pushes for his properties. So he'd get them generally nominated because they would see him everywhere. The Academy has over 6,000 voters. It's not like the Hollywood Foreign Press Association for the Golden Globes that has only 90 people and not one of them are African American. So, or just of African descent. They need to work on that. And that's one of the reasons why NBC is like, we're not going to show the Golden Globes next year because it's not diverse enough, which is such a weird thing. But they also realize too that the people don't care anymore about these things. The ratings for the Oscars and for the Golden Globes and the Emmys were in the toilet because the average consumer didn't watch something like Nomadland. And the average consumer might watch something like Nomadland and just go, again with this. I don't need my life shown back to me on a movie. You know, there's a reason why films like Marvel and Star Wars and DC, people flock to the escapism because they want the escapism. What they don't want is a whole situation where it's like, hey, do you want to be reminded for 2 hours why your life sucks? It's kind of what it is. That's my opinion, at least. Anyway. All right. So the one Carlos here says here, the Snyderverse was always meant to end, and I would love to have seen it. But if we can get that more streamlined universe where we see characters grow and evolve, events affecting events, that would be something. But I don't see that really happening under Hamada. The reason why I'm talking about the Snyderverse being dead is because of Zack and Netflix. Okay, that's really what I want to talk about here. But I do want to quickly answer this one. Would I want to see a Gladiator sequel? No, not the one they originally pitched, where like Maximus comes back from the afterlife, like that whole weird thing. They have a new idea where it's like Maximus's kid and he's like getting revenge, I guess. Like, I don't know, man. It's a 20-year-old movie, 21-year-old movie. I love Gladiator, but a little bit after there. All right. Blaine here, $1 super sticker. Thank you, sir. So, you know, he says here, burn me in effigy if you want. I enjoyed Abrams' Trek and Star Wars. There we go. I'm not going to burn you in effigy, dude. I enjoy Abrams' work. Rational Skeptic here, $2. Thank you, sir. Says, why didn't Warner Brothers get a Feige at the start of DC? Well, that was ultimately Zack, right? Zack was the architect of this. Well, really what it did is it started with Nolan. It started with the Dark Knight trilogy because of how profitable and popular those films were, especially The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises, both crossing $1 billion for the first time in the franchise. So they thought, hey, listen, let's continue with this. So let's go with this same aesthetic. And Nolan was a producer on it for Man of Steel. And so he met with Zack and he brought Zack in and he pitched him on the idea. And then Zack pitched him his concept of it. They brought in him and David Goyer. They worked out their idea for Man of Steel and they went all together and they made this movie. And that was the architect of it. The problem, though, is money. You know, it's money. And the movie started to get more and more and more expensive. All right. Like Wonder Woman 1984 did not turn a profit for Warner Brothers. And it's not even a well-liked movie at this point. A lot of people out there do not like it. And here's the thing, too. Gal's comments on social media about the whole situation in the Gaza Strip right now, that is blowing up in her face. There are times when you have to realize in this life, you say nothing. You say nothing. Just because you're a blue check mark, just because you're a worldwide celebrity, doesn't mean everyone needs to know your every inner thought. There's a lot of jokes I don't tell or personal stories I don't tell because of that. You don't need to know every aspect of my life, even if I think they're pretty funny. But no, that's blowing up. Like the comments, like Warner Brothers put out a tweet where they're like, or HBO Max basically, it was all like, Wonder Woman 84 is back on streaming in 4K and Dolby Atmos. And like they turned off the responses. They turned off the replies. So all they did is they put up, they have quote tweets and the quote tweets are not kind. Again, some of those things are an issue here. Now, MX Bravo here does say, and I want to get to this point. He says here, Zack has proven he can work on a budget. This is true. The escalating budget of his DC films is solely due to Warner Brothers' demands. That's actually not true. Who wanted Transformers level action, Man of Steel and reworked BVS several times over. The reality, no, they reworked BVS over and over again in the edit bay. They wanted, more in regards to maybe high action with Man of Steel. But the budgets also increase because the actors are getting paid more money. And that's another part of it too. The shooting of Man of Steel was far less than the shooting of BVS and Justice League specifically. And those budgets increase. Never mind when it came to Justice League, reshooting of the 80 pages, Henry Cavill and needing to fight with Paramount over getting him available for those reshoots, and the whole mustache situation, which, by the way, that mustache situation, if you guys may not know this, I do talk about it in the Justice League audio commentary I did back in March. Paramount, actually, it was Christopher McQuarrie, the director of Mission Impossible Fallout, was like, yeah, you can shave Henry Cavill's mustache for $3.5 million, right? For $3.5 million. And Warner's actually was okay with that. But it was Paramount that came in and was like, no. So seriously, it's not just Warner Brothers in regards to that situation. There are always other factors at play. This is a business. There's a lot more going on. But yes, I agree with you. Zack has proven he can work inside a budget. The budget of Army of the Dead was like $90 million. Looked really good. A lot of good effects in that movie. A lot of things looked really fantastic. Anyway, Jacob here quickly asking, are you going to see the Snake Eyes movie? Yeah. I like G.I. Joe. H-Bar's here, $5, says, if Feige ever leaves or when he passes away someday, who would take over? For Marvel? I don't know. It's got to be a person who is not only instinctually creative, but very adept and has their fingers on the pulse of where we are. And whoever that person might be, I don't know yet. And I guarantee you, it won't be J.J. Abrams. It won't be that at all. But I don't know. Maybe Victoria Alonso. She does quite a bit over there right now. She's been bumped up. I know James Gunn, if you want my honest opinion, I think James Gunn was kind of being groomed to kind of see a very high leadership role in that whole situation. Right. There was a report that I read a while ago. I don't know how true it is. I should ask him. About like he was kind of being groomed to take over the cosmic side of the MCU and handle those movies, while the other producers handled other elements like of the other TV shows and things like that. But the way he's kind of talking about it now, and the way that Batista's kind of talking about it now, it feels like Guardians 3 and the Guardians Holiday Special. That's kind of it. And with this whole new Chapek takeover, man, I don't know. Anything could happen on that one. Anyway, Rational Skeptic here, $2. Thank you, man. Says, does Warner Brothers think JJ is cheap? They gave him $500 million. No, he's not just doing the DC stuff. He's also producing other content under Bad Robot. I wouldn't be surprised if the next Cloverfield movie premieres on HBO Max. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. And the reason why I say that is, because he's going to do a lot, but he's got a lot of say on where they're going to go with this. And that price tag is going to make him have a larger footprint. So, he's not, they don't think he's cheap, but they're going to want to get as much as they possibly can out of him here. Now, Martin Winter here, CHF $5. I don't know what currency that is, but thank you. Says, what many forget is that Snyder movies don't sell merch. MCU earned more than double in merch. Another reason why Warner Brothers don't want Snyder. Now, to that, I would argue perhaps not. So going back to Man of Steel, and again, just to kind of pimp myself, I talked about this in Podio commentary. Before Man of Steel even hit theaters, it did earn $160 million through promotional tie-ins. And there were promotional tie-ins for BVS, and I believe Justice League. So not Zack Snyder's Justice League. So they've definitely found a way to do ancillary on that one. But at the same time, I don't see a lot of merch. I don't see Henry Cavill's face on merch, and I haven't seen Ben Affleck's face on merch. So yeah, that's actually probably a pretty fair point there. So let's see. Some here asks, what's your current setup for 4K and Atmos? I don't know, man. I have a Samsung 55-inch 4K that I like quite a bit. Looks fantastic. I just got it. And then it's got the Bluetooth setup. These are Bose headsets that I like. I have this, and I have like an Anchor sound core that I mostly use for the bedroom. But when I want to watch something good, I bring out the Bose, and the Bose are fantastic. I love Bose. All right. So Swiss francs is okay. Thank you very much. MX Bravo here with the facts. Okay, so let's look. Here's the thing. Okay, Jolly here asks, how much did Justice League cost before Joss took over? At that point, it was estimated $200 million was the production cost leading into the reshoots. That was more or less what they were saying at the time. So, and then you add in like the additional like $70 million or $80 million in regards to the reshoots. That's, I mean, you hear a lot about that. And then there's still the print and advertising. So the marketing blitz, all that stuff. I mean, it adds up. They're talking about overall the estimated budget of both versions of the movie is somewhere in the neighborhood of like $400 million. I mean, there's a reason why, like, they're not wanting to go down that pathway again. But we're also in extenuating circumstances, right? So again, the pandemic. Could the pandemic at this point in time sustain a 4-hour Snyder cut in theaters? The answer to that is no. People are afraid. They are. They're afraid because sitting for 4 hours in the theater in a mask is going to be uncomfortable. Now, today, a lot of places are kind of reversing their mask mandates and things like that. I think it's some kind of reverse psychology effect to get people to go and get vaccinated who are kind of iffy on the subject matter. But at the same time, enough people have gone and gotten vaccinated that it is starting to look a lot better. I get my next shot next week, so I'm looking forward to that. And so I think like we're going to start seeing a bit of a return there. What they should do during the lull of like the summer is roll out the Snyder cut into IMAX, because nowadays everything is digital. So it's not like they need to put out the 70 millimeter print of the movie. They put it on a hard drive and they ship the hard drive via, UPS or DHL or something. We used to have, when I worked at the drive-in, we had our film reels literally driven down from LA to San Diego and brought by a guy who came every single week. And even when I was working in LA, he was occasionally the guy who dropped off our films at the theater in LA, which was pretty cool because we got to play catch up. It's been about 10 years now, so I don't know what he's up to. I hope he's doing okay. But the idea here is that, it's a lot easier to put this content out there now. And they should really invest into it, if you want my honest opinion. I think Netflix investing in Army of the Dead for a week is a pretty good sign. And a lot of people seem to like it. I haven't really heard a lot of negative reviews on it yet. Okay. All right. Let's see. Matt here says Endgame's budget was $350 million, but that's fourth Avengers movie. This is the first Justice League. Yeah. Well, I mean, also you're talking about like Infinity War and Endgame both kind of shared a budget. It's very similar to like the Lord of the Rings movies where, like the Two Towers, I think was like had a budget of like 91 million. I think all three films had a budget of 288 million, but they shot all three back to back. Right. And they shot Infinity War and Endgame back to back. So you kind of have to culminate those budgets, right? You got to push them together. So instead of like two boobs, it's just one big boob. It's a mega boob. You know what I mean? So that's what you got. That's what you got to do. All right. So Simon section here, $5. Oh, talking about Gladiator. Says the only Gladiator movie I want to see is in the MCU. He's basically Superman with a mohawk whose confidence affects his power. Snyder could wait, what? Hold on. He's basically Superman with a mohawk whose confidence affects his powers. Who? I've never heard of this character. Marvel Is it a Gladiator character? Oh wow! Holy shit! It really is. I thought it was Yondu, man. Yeah, all right. I feel like I feel like his power level is compensating for something, if I'm being honest with you. But hold on here. I'll bring it up because you toss it. All right. This should be it right here. Look at this guy. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Look at that. Look at that hair. Look at that. He's just all sorts of in it. Yeah. Look at him. Look at that face. He's like very stoic. But it looks like a reverse Superman kind of. I mean, I get the aesthetic, those abs. Oh, but see, here's the sad thing about this. He's got those abs, right? He's got, he's ripped, he's buff, he's all, and And then like you figure they would give him a bit more to work with in the middle section. They really don't. We're talking like smooth like a Ken doll down there. And you know what? That is pretty clear proof. Steroids. You never want to mess with steroids, folks. You never want to mess with steroids. Okay. Hold on here. It's going okay. There we go. All right. Holy shit, that Mohawk. He was in the 90s X-Men card. I got to watch that again. It's been a while since I've watched that. One. It's great. Anyway, I thought that was pretty funny. So, okay. So let me just kind of, you know what I'm going to do? I kind of want to be out in the next 20 minutes. These are shorter streams. They're just shorter. We're going to talk a little bit. So I'm going to drop the link. We're just going to do a couple rapid fire questions. If anyone wants to jump on in, rapid fire, have it ready to go. We're going to go into that one. So here's what I'm talking about, though, when it comes to Snyder and Netflix. Look, Warner Brothers, it was 10 years. And at the end of the 10-year relationship, they booted him out like he was a bad ex. He's not the problem. Warner Brothers is clearly the problem. But let's think about this for a second. The last 4 years of this dude's life has been pretty hell. And a lot of it felt like, he had the regret over his daughter. He had the regret over losing his movie. He chose his family over fighting the studio for these reshoots. At the time, he couldn't do it. All right. And then he finally got what he wanted. But at the same time, they were still being a bitch about it. Then here comes Netflix, right? And like the writers of Rohan coming in at the last minute of the Two Towers, right? All that shit. They come on in and they offer him reprieve. Not only do they give him reprieve, they allow him control. They allow him to be creative. They allow him to do what he wants to do. And as a result of that, there is a significant rebirth that is happening. There's a smile on his face when he is out talking about this. He's not having to go back and continuously relive the trauma by everyone talking about fucking Warner Brothers. That's what I'm talking about here, guys. Is when I say, is it good that the Snyderverse is dead? For Zack Snyder and his mental health and his creativity, he just turned in his mid-50s. That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm saying. Is like for right now, his mental health is great where he's at. He's coming out of a long, dark fog. And I understand the passion that people have. And I see, I missed a super chat. I'm going to get it. I understand the passion that the fan base has. But think about it like this. Every time you ask this person to go back and relive that is still dealing with past trauma. That is purposefully putting him in a situation with people that do not want to work with him, that do not want to have him around. They want to move on. And he's a nice guy. And every time Restore the Snyderverse trends, I'm sure he's happy. He's very happy with it, right? He's like, oh yeah, that's great. He feels good. But at the end of the day, think about what that might do to him. Think about what it already kind of did to him. People at this point should be supporting Army of the Dead, supporting the creativity going forward. Warner Brothers will learn their mistake and they'll course correct eventually. They have a new owner. It takes a little bit of time to get this shit right. But for Zack's own mental health, for his own creative well-being, he ain't getting any younger. You know what I mean? Like, I say, let him go. Let him go. That is the best way you can help Zack Snyder right now, is stop demanding that he goes back into an emotionally traumatic situation, one of which none of us have ever had to deal with on our own in that particular capacity. All the stress, all the anxiety, all the survivor's guilt, because I guarantee you it's there. And then looking at his product, his baby that he spent years developing and how it languished in just this space of being completely shit on. And he had no control over any of it because he chose his family over that. It's good that his vision is out, but as Deborah Snyder said, it was closure. And that's what frustrates me the most when I see people continuously trying to drag him back in. You will not let the man move on. It's time to let him move on. If they want to continue with those characters that he had a hand in, great. but keep him the hell out of it. That is what the fans should do. And like I said, Zack's a nice guy. He's never going to tell you no. He's never going to say no to a paying customer. Those are his own words. He's never going to say no. But deep down, you can tell. Watch that Variety interview, the 17 minutes. Look at how happy he is. Talking about Army of the Dead. The Snyder stuff is starting. You can tell he wants to move past it, but people won't let him. And I think it's up to us as fans to finally come to terms with the reality of the situation. He has told us repeatedly, multiple times, this is where things are. Let him go. That's my piece on the subject. Anyway, let me see here. I missed a super chat. Sorry. Hold on. Sorry. Sorry, Rational Skeptic. Sorry, dude. My bad. I do apologize for that. What will Warner Brothers do if JJ Supes and DC Film swap? They'll reboot. They'll just reboot. That's what they do. That's what DC does. DC doesn't have a backbone. I don't know. People like you, they don't. Jim Lee can try, but they're just, remember, they were going to do like the 5G initiative, which I think they pulled back a little bit of that one. And it was, again, going to be kind of another reboot, similar to the New 52 from a number of years ago. This is what they do. They reboot. So there's that. All right. And then also here, Ash Eternal, $10. Thank you so much, Ash. Crazy hypothetical question. If Feige announced today he wanted to collaborate with Warner Brothers and explore the idea of an Avengers versus Justice League movie directed by Zack, would Warner Brothers restore the Snyder? Yeah, in a heartbeat. Oh, in a heartbeat. If Feige walked up with Disney and Marvel's billions of dollars, their bucket full of just like pure cash, freshly printed right from the federal mint. It's just, they're rolling it out there. Oh yeah, 100%. Warner Brothers would be like, so Snyderverse, we're coming back, right? Ben Affleck, we're doing it. We're doing it. Okay, cool. Wayne T. Carr, call Wayne T. Carr right now. Get him on the phone. Green Lantern, you're him. Jon Stewart, motherfucker. That's what they're going to do. They're going to be very happy with that. And then, okay, great. So, all right. The last sane one here says you make a good point. Restore the Snyderverse movement is inherently selfish. It's the fans wanting something. It's great that the fans want more, but it's, again, there's so much more to the situation. And that's my whole point here. And then also, I just want to say this because it's a personal thing. Summate here says, I really liked your thing, Patio commentary. I learned a lot of insane things I never knew about the film. I liked putting that one together. So thank you very much for listening to Patio Commentary. Again, we got about 70 people in here right now. I'm just going to pimp this out. If you all want to learn about Army of the Dead, no spoilers, but just history of how the film came together, that video is on the channel right now. It's my podcast. Anyway, that is my pimp. That is my shilling. That's my shilling. All right. So we got some people in the back room right now. Keep this quick. We're going to be coming in just a couple minutes here. Just real quick thing you want to get out, real quick point you want to make. All right, first up, you guys know him. You guys really love him, actually. You guys really love him. I know you guys love him. He's smiling right now. I can see him too. Anthony.
Hey, man. How you doing?
I am good, man. I am good. So we're doing rapid fire tonight, sir. So what's on your mind?
What's on my mind? I watched Justice Society of America World War II tonight.
Nice. I haven't seen it yet. Was it good?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Oh, it's not the new animated movie. Sorry, I thought that was a new animated movie. What is that one again? You want Saving the double VHS set. You have to love that. The double VHS set.
I got that from Christmas in '99.
Oh, nice, man. Nice. I think no, I don't own that movie, actually. I think it's on 4K now. I need to get it in 4K and then just like sit there for like the 3 hours and then just be transported. I remember I was working at my very first movie theater job back in the summer of '98 when that thing came out. And I remember opening day first showing, the first crowd of people came out and they were all like World War II veterans. And everyone exited that movie. And we were expecting people to be talking about it. We were thinking people were going to be all sorts of like, enjoying it. And no one said a word walking out of that movie. Not one person said a thing to each other about it. They all just walked quietly away. And we're all like,
they play it every Veterans Day. They play it every Veterans Day.
Yeah, well, now they do. I mean, but this was like the very
Society World War II was awesome.
Okay, now that's the animated movie. Okay, because you held up Saving Private Ryan. I thought that's what you were referring to. Okay, my bad. But anyway,
so I'm doing good. We just put up the air conditioner.
Well, you're gonna need it. It's gonna get pretty warm.
Gonna get pretty hot in my area. My mom came home. We had steak and potatoes.
That's good, man. That's good. I like
Yeah, and R.I.P. New Jack.
that. Yes, I heard that he passed away. That is unfortunate.
He was 58, but he was doing all that drugs.
Yeah, drugs are a mofo, man. Never, you know what?
This
Don't
what
do
happened
drugs.
to my cousin last year. She died of drugs.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Anthony.
Yeah,
That's
what you get
tragic.
for doing all that drugs and everything. So R.I.P. New Jack. My condolences go out to his wife. I was a huge fan. I have the toy of him in storage.
Awesome, man. Well, that could be going for some money here pretty soon.
Yeah, but I'm doing good. I'm doing great. I'm getting ready to order my eBay store on in June. I'm getting ready for that. I watched Condor the other day.
Nice.
Condor is a show.
Okay. Like old show, new show?
A new show. New show based on 3 days out of Condor.
Oh, okay. I've heard of it. I'm not familiar so much right now, but you know how it is.
Condor's good. Condor's a good show.
Okay. Well, all right, man. Hey, I'm gonna. I got more people to get to in here, man. I'm gonna let you go, buddy. But thanks a lot, Anthony, and we'll talk soon, okay, buddy? All right, Anthony. Everybody, you know him. You love him. He's a good guy. All right, we're gonna keep this party train going. Shidoko, what's up, man? How you doing?
Hey there, and yeah, Anthony's a pretty good guy. Yeah, to thank you once again for that birthday thing you did earlier. Very
I know. I mean, that's an old school Marilyn Monroe thing, right? I don't have my blonde wig anymore. Now, the reason why, hold on, let me explain. The reason why I had a blonde wig was because for Halloween one year, my friend and I went as Jay and Silent Bob. Obviously, like if I were to, you know.
Good luck for you.
You know,
I see.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a thing. So, I mean, like I can pull it off to an extent. He's a lot thinner now. I have like a, if I was ever going to like professionally cosplay as Kevin Smith, I need to lose a lot of weight. So I'm kind of like, you know, for a heart attack. No, I'm kidding. No. For me, it's just, I'm trying to like watch what I eat and then like, you know, lose it and everything else. But yeah, no. So you're welcome on that one. Happy birthday, man.
And I guess what I want to talk about pertaining to this subject, as a person who has only ever seen Justice League, I gotta be honest with that, just Zack Snyder's Justice League, I'm fine with just letting this go. And honestly, I didn't even think about the point you said earlier about his point of view, what this means for him. And,
yeah, that's the thing, man, is like no one ever looks at it from his perspective, because if you bring it up, they always just say, yeah, but he said he'd do more. Like, yeah, he's not going to sit there. He's not going to sit there and tell you like he would prefer to continue with this, or he's got full control. He was his own cinematographer, right? If you listen to my Podio commentary episode on the movie on Army of the Dead, you find out some things. Like he kept the set very small, the crew very small. He kept it very intimate. He wanted to have a very interesting connection with the actors. He wanted to make sure that the actors were like, he was in the trenches with them. He wanted to do something. It wasn't a massive studio tentpole that felt very impersonal. You know, he wanted it to be something that he could just dive into, and he did. And that's the whole point, is like, this was something that was cathartic for him, and something that like he had the ability to just do what he wanted to do. And Netflix was like, was basically like, can you give us more? Here's an animated show. We're doing a prequel movie that is a romantic comedy heist film. That's what the prequel to Army of the Dead is. So there's those things to consider. So like, here's the thing. If all you've seen is Justice League.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be. I'm a bit more of a Marvel guy, although I do like DC.
Okay, motherfucker. What? How can you go into Justice League? How can you go into Zack Snyder's Justice League and not have seen Man of Steel or BVS Ultimate Edition, not the theatrical bullshit?
I just never got around to it.
All right, really here's the thing, chat. I want you to boo this man. It's his birthday. It's his birthday, so don't boo him too hard, but boo this man. I'm kidding. I take back the birth. No, I'm kidding. No, I just mean like, you got to go watch them, dude. You have HBO Max because they're on there.
I just canceled it like last week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But actually, I don't know. I'll make this commitment for this upcoming year. I will see it. But
Okay.
going forward,
This
but
upcoming
going
year.
but going forward, at least for me, I like for Zach to, have his creative freedom wherever he's gonna go next, Netflix or whatever that may be. And for Warner Brothers, although I honestly don't have too much faith with them, what they have going forward, I legitimately hope these movies are a success and they're actually good movies. I don't want them to
Yeah.
fail,
Yeah. No, I don't
like
want him to fail either. I really I do like Zach. I have some complaints here and there. Obviously, I've made some vocal complaints that people like to, you know. But at the end of the day, I wish him the best. I wish his family the best, and I want to see him continue on this creative freedom. I mean, the best thing any filmmaker can get is like complete autonomy, right? Like complete autonomy without having like the studio send producers down to watch over your shoulder to make sure you're hitting all the predetermined corporate approved points that they want in the effing movie. Like there's all that kind of stuff. So you got to just, like, at this point now, he's kind of free. He's free. The weight of that franchise is not on his back anymore. Let the man live. Let him live.
yeah, here to that.
That's it. Thanks. All right, man. Well, hey, I got to get to the rest of the people.
Yeah,
here,
no
but
worries.
Thanks a lot for
Thank
coming
you,
on.
guys.
Anyway, happy birthday again. Don't boo this man too hard. If you want to give him more crap, you can always come into the Discord and then just shit on him there. That's fine.
All right. Thank you.
All right, man. I'll
Good night.
I'll talk to you later. All right. See you, man. All right. Thank you very much. All right. Real quick here. Rational Skeptic, $2. Thank you, sir. Says my thing, not last thing, hopefully. My thing is at least keep Cavill in the other cast. No, I want the cast. I want it all to stay. Okay. I'm not trying to like be this like Nancy naysayer or whatever, naysayer Nancy or whatever the hell it is. Some of my Discord's like, I knew you would give up. And I'm like, I'm not giving up, but I'm being pragmatic. I'm a cynical realist. Sometimes you need people like me to smack the fucking shit out of you. Anyway, and I'm just saying, like, why not give the man what he wants? Anyway, but I do want the cast to stay. I want Cavill to get a Man of Steel too. Preferably directed by Matthew Vaughn. That would be the coolest thing ever. Not J.J. Abrams. It wouldn't be a bad movie, to be fair. I think it would be a lot of fun. Because I do like 2009 Star Trek quite a bit, and I like The Force Awakens quite a bit. So I'm pretty sure I would enjoy this one. The thing is, like, J.J. Abrams just can't finish things, so I'm really kind of surprised he's got kids. Anyway, let's see here. Why are some of the Podio commentaries in the playlist? Oh yeah, no, sorry. The playlist that's on the main channel is wrong. I gotta replace it with another playlist. Hold on till after this, and I'll fix it. Okay. Let's see. Cynics are an idealist who's seen the light. Yeah, yet I'm still a progressive. Go figure on that one. All right. YouTube made great again. What's up, man?
Hi, Matt. I just wanted to ask, what do you think? There's two things I wanted to say. First was, I don't think they're ever going to bring back the Snyderverse, ever. And my logic behind that isn't Warner Brothers the same studio that made Jericho, and we never got a season 3 of Jericho, and everyone raged that.
That was CBS. CBS was the company, was the channel.
But you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, now I'm just kind of curious who actually produced it. Wait, hold on. Jericho TV series. Let me look this up on Wikipedia. 2006.
But you get what I'm saying? Like, outrage for a second season, and we never got a third season, and I think that's because people pissed off the,
Well, yes and no. Okay, so Jericho is a very fascinating case study. All things considered, just to summarize it up, right? So they did the first season. Then they ended it, and then everyone did that whole like, hey, give us season 2, give us season 2, give us season 2.
Mm-hmm.
And they fought really hard for it, and they ultimately got it. But season 2 was only 7 episodes, right?
And it was just to wrap up the story.
And it was to wrap up the story, but to leave it open-ended enough to where if there was enough people who watched it, then they could warrant doing more. I mean, obviously, it would be cheaper to do another season of Jericho versus doing another Snyder movie. In that world. But the thing is, at the same time, they also, for season 2, you can tell they shot it digitally. They didn't shoot it on film. It had lower budgets and a smaller cast. And that's okay, because the show, it still was good. I like season 2. But unfortunately, That's the kind of the problem with fan movements. Fan movements don't always mean that success is going to be had. You know, I mean, look at today. ABC canceled 5 series today. They like, even that there was a new show with Katie Seagal, Peg Bundy, right? Called Rebel, where she was basically playing Aaron Brockovich. And that was they pushed that show like crazy. Had like 3 episodes and they canceled it. You know, so it's just like the standard television model is not really there anymore. Streaming is going to see a bunch of different stuff, but even that's going to require them to very much kind of pick and choose. Netflix just has enough of a built-in infrastructure with like a reoccurring, amount of money coming in every single month, where they have more leeway. Disney's also in that same boat. I do feel that eventually HBO Max is going to get there, but right now they're not there. And that's the other factor people don't take into account is HBO Max is a division of Warner Media, and like those guys, they're not necessarily like the most cash rich company at the moment. They need content, but they need to make it in a way that it's going to be profitable and also affordable.
Well, the other thing I wanted to ask was, have you seen Jupiter's Legacy yet? And what are your thoughts?
I have not been able to watch. I haven't even watched Mortal Kombat yet. As to answer Sammy his question.
No spoiler opinion on it, real quick.
Yeah,
I feel like it's like in the same way the first Batman versus the Batman Superman movie was. Like they're trying to tell 2 stories at once, and I like the show, but I don't like being like it's hard to follow for me because they're trying to tell 2 stories at once. And I think it would have been better if they did one season tell the origins and one season tell the actual story.
Okay, I understand that. Yeah, I mean, you know what? I've heard it bounces around, but it's only 8 episodes, so it's not like as bad as it's not like if it was like a 21 episode season, that's a lot. And I'm kind of glad we're moving away from 21 episode seasons because that's a lot of shit to watch each week. Or in the case of Netflix, just pump and dump it.
Yeah.
And that's getting old. But all right, man. Well, hey, I'm going to let you go. I got to get to 2 more people and then I got to get to bed. All right. But thanks a lot, dude. And we'll talk again soon. All right, man?
All righty. Peace.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. We got Edgar. What's going on, dude?
What's up, man? Nothing. I've been playing Mass Effect 1 on PlayStation. Just got it today. I mean,
I can't wait for people to get to Mass Effect 3. And then it to be 2012 all over again. Because I remember March of 2012. I remember the fights.
I'm with you, brother. I'm like, fun fact, I was playing my another gaming series called Darksiders. And I'm just literally thinking, wow, they ended on a note like that. Holy cow. But yet again, nothing compared towards the next one that came after that, Mass Effect Andromeda, which was a unfinished.
Yeah, that was EA really making a mistake on that one. EA has run BioWare into the ground. They have just
I think I not only that, but I think they murdered the Mass Effect, and I think that's the only thing. The redemption for them is just release the 3 games and maybe start doing the 4th one and make some loopholes where, oh wait, Shepard's still alive, he's still alive.
Well, I have a feeling that how much is the new one now? Is it $50?
Yeah, it's 55.
Okay,
it's about 60. It's 65.
Okay, so it's a full price. It's full price. Okay, so it's a full price game. Yeah, I get that. I think the thing with that though is like, because I know a lot of people are like really, really, really like wanting to get into it. Like I love Mass Effect 1. I love Mass Effect 2. I would love to go back and play those things again. And I might eventually. Right now,
I'm not even on 3. I mean, like my thoughts on 3.
I mean, like the end. Well, to be fair, like I was playing it, and then the controversy over the ending broke, and I just like when I learned that it's just the RGB ending, and I learned like what the ending was. Never mind the stolen artwork and assets that they put into the final of that game. Like the model for Talia was like somebody just like Googled this woman. And then they downloaded her image, and then they fixed it in Photoshop and threw it in the game.
Yeah, but I mean, like honestly, I think personally, it goes. I would have gone on Fantasyland, like make your own version of it. But I mean, like besides of the fact, I was just gonna give you this one question. I just wanted to know from your behalf: do you feel not only the Snyder cut is done, but do you feel like Zack should just do other projects than just DC? Because I feel
Yes.
like for me, I feel like for me, I honestly see the Snyder fans just their only complaint and their only motivation. This is one of them. I'm one of them. Yours truly. I used to think this until I come to realization, and I'm like, it can't happen because of multiple reasons. I feel like we got cheated, and I'm using myself because I'm like, the reason why people want him to continue is because they are looking at what Marvel is going through. They're looking at what Marvel is going through, and it's just they feel something that they truly deserve, and they're never going to get it. And that's that's what I'm going. Just one more thing, and I feel like Henry Cavill wants more money because he's a big actor now, and therefore he wants more cash, and Warner Brothers won't let him. So that's why we won't have a Man of Steel 2. So honestly, I'm just like looking at all the logics, looking at all the bullshit. What Ben Affleck just lost the love of the character of Batman, and it's just like, wow, they really ruined this universe down to the ground so low that I'm like, they're just pick and choose what they have, and just the rest is history from there.
Well, and that is a factor that you have to that is going to be taken into consideration. But the big thing here to consider ultimately is that they do need to, like, people like Cavill is going to work through Danny Garcia, and I do think that the best way for all of that is going to be Black Adam. Now, if you want my honest opinion here, like, that's the movie.
Show up in Shazam.
That's the one you show. That's the one you show up at. Like, the one you show up for. You show up for Shazam. Show up for Black Adam. That's it, right?
But yet again, I'm like, at the same time, what if he doesn't? Then
we don't know. We don't know. We have no idea. You know, I would rather at this point, Zack just do, Army of the Dead for a while. He likes zombies. They're simple.
Yeah, they're simple and they're basic. Yeah, I get that.
I mean, in this case, there's more, but I won't go into that because people haven't seen it yet.
I will watch it eventually, but I mean, like,
watch it on Friday. Definitely watch it on Friday.
I will. But I'm just telling you for my opinion, like, I just feel like that it's kind of over with the Snyderverse, at least to me.
No, it is, and I'll be the one to ring that bell, and I'll be the one to be the crier through the Snyderverse village. Like,
people don't want to accept it because, I mean, like, they got their way, and I'm just like, you're blinded because your own fandom, and we all could feel that direction where people like want something so bad and like, oh man, we're gonna get it, and we're not gonna get it, and it is what it is. But one last thing before I go. Do you feel like Marvel is going to go deal with the bullshit of Bob Iger?
What do you mean?
What I mean is Bob Iger is going to take all the creative freedom that Marvel has, and Kevin Feige might leave.
Well, Bob Iger isn't taking it. It's Bob Chapek who's taking it.
No, man. Fuck, crap.
I put this out on Twitter today, and I did say that I feel that if shit does look like it's getting ready to hit the fan by the end of this year, like, let's say the internal turmoil escalates, Iger is still the chairman of the board, as you know, and so if he doesn't exit as chairman of the board and he keeps on, then Chapek is going to be on a leash, because the board can vote to fire the CEO.
Oh, so we might be technically good, because I mean, we
might be, but don't get me wrong. Like, Chapek is gonna do some stuff that he wants to do, and I don't know why adding in more bureaucracy and adding in more middle management. I don't know why he feels that's a good thing.
I mean, like, maybe it's just like more control, but I mean, like, for me, I'm like, wait, hold on. Is this mean to where Marvel goes down the toilet and we don't build up anything? We don't allow the storytelling going forward on the future of Marvel, and we're going to be like Warner Brothers? Because if that's the case, oh my God, I'm going to lose it. Because
as I said last night, the people that it appears that Chapek is putting in these positions, like the guy who's going to be taking over Walt Disney Entertainment, essentially, is a consumer products guy, which means he's a finance guy, which means he's a merchandise guy, which means that's going to be a lot of the items that are going to get pushed are going to be, what can they sell, what can they merchandise, and that is not something that is unfamiliar to Disney. or really a bad idea. I mean, clearly, like, the reason why we have planes.
Yeah, exactly. It makes more profit, makes everything.
Yeah,
which I'm
like
all for. I'm all
cars.
for it.
Well, Cars made $1 billion in merchandising, like in 2006. So we got Cars 2 and Cars 3, and we got the plane spinoffs. So we got
absolutely
4 more fucking movies that probably didn't need to exist. Although Cars 3 was very good, and I liked it quite a bit. But it's like we got 4 movies because parents bought children $1 billion of this merchandise, which was a complete ripoff of a Chevron ad from the mid 90s. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, here, let's see, toy car Chev Ron ad.
I mean, I'm just looking at like in Marvel behalf because I'm like, I don't want Kevin Feige to leave, just not yet. I'm like, he can leave after when
like, eventually he's gonna leave. But yeah, I know what you mean. Dude. I'm with you on that too. I don't want him to leave either.
I want him to like leave. Like, okay, we established the X-Men, we established the Fantastic Four, and the new Avengers. I mean, what's there to go for? We did it all. He's the king of Marvel. I mean,
well, there's a lot of stories to tell. There's a lot of stories to tell, and he was going to be doing his own thing anyway. Real quick, here's the thing. Does this remind you guys of Cars, the movie?
Oh, dude, I used to watch that shit back in the old days. I mean,
yes, this was a Chevron with Techron commercial. There's a lot of these from back in the day. This was you go and you watch, like, the thing is, Cars itself, from its design to its story, is literally a ripoff. The whole thing's a ripoff.
I mean, hell, they even Disney rips off a famous anime. Just type in.
Oh, what?
It's
Kimba.
It's
Kimba
it's the Atlantis storyline. Atlantis.
Oh no, I've heard of. I mean, I've seen Atlantis. I don't know but the thing is, I do got to get going here. It's something to look into. We're talking about it on another day. But
I'm just saying. I mean, Disney has sort of copied a lot of things. Hell, the Lion King movie was a cardboard copy of not Lion King. Black Panther, should I say, was a cardboard copy of the Lion King, and I'm like, damn. But I'm just saying,
Lion King was a cardboard ripoff, a complete ripoff of Kimba. But even the creators of Kimba said the Lion King was a better movie. So.
Anyway,
So let's. I gotta move on, dude. I gotta move on.
I know, but just like I'm just saying. Do you think Marvel's in trouble if we...
No. Okay. I don't think Marvel's in trouble. There's too much money. There's too much money for them to do anything right now. Give it a couple years. We'll see what happens. For right now, it's perfectly fine. All right. Thanks a lot for coming on in, Edgar. I appreciate it. Real quick here. Okay. Andrew Christie, $5. Thank you, man. It says here, the only situation I see the Snyderverse being restored is maybe in 10 to 15 years with a completely new cast and Warner Brothers being under new leadership. At that point, will it still be the Snyderverse? In 15 years, Zack Snyder will be 70. I mean, Richard Donner is 90. He's talking about doing another Lethal Weapon movie. He's not talking about Superman anymore. At some point, it's just got to be moved on. But I do appreciate that one. MX Bravo does here say, Apple should have bought Disney. There was that actual fear. That was really fascinating. When that whole thing went around, you want to hear something even more fascinating? Disney had the opportunity to purchase Twitter back in 2017, in the summer of 2017, but they chose not to. And they chose to invest into they bought a company that does streaming content, like the technology. And that's what they built Disney Plus around. So that's kind of fun how that kind of worked out. No, Sammy, I didn't eat him. He left. And that's okay. Let's see here. Min Min says, hot take, the Cars trilogy is actually good, even the second one. Boo this man. Kidding. All right. Finally tonight, real quick. I don't know if he's still there or not. Eddie, are you there? We'll give him a minute. But if he doesn't show up, I'm just going to kind of wrap it up here. So anyway, let me take a look here. All right. Geek Studios says that now Warner Brothers is copying Disney with bat wheels. Are they? I don't know about that. Are you there, Eddie? Let's see here. Oh, what? They're doing no. What? So, oh my God. Disney, what are you doing? Are you killing me? Or not Disney, Warner Brothers. I know they want to get the kids. No, he's there, I think. All right. I'm just going to let him go. Let's see here. I can't hear you, Eddie. You're gonna have to back out and come back in, man. Back out, come back in real quick, and then we'll bring you up. All right. But all right, let me just bring this up. This is the Bat Wheels thing. Look at this here. Look at this. Look at. Okay, I'm back now. Yeah, about an hour into it, it starts getting pretty crazy. All right, it looks like Eddie is having some trouble. All right, Eddie, here's the thing. I'm just gonna wrap it up, man. So call in tomorrow, and you'll be the first one I get to when I bring in people. If I get to that point tomorrow night, it should be anyway. All right, everyone. So yeah, this is what's going on with Bat Wheels. My goodness, it's terrible. It's terrible. It's bad. But all right, everyone, listen. This has been a fun conversation. I like to keep these short and sweet, and I think we had some good talks there at the end. I think there's a lot of good discussion, and it's good to see that a lot of you out there are understanding the position I'm taking on this and everything else. So as always, if you guys want to, find me on social media, on Twitter, great place to talk. I'm going to be posting probably a thing in the morning for topics to cover on the community post. So keep an eye out of that if you're watching this mobile, and you guys can chime in with some stuff and everything else. But again, really quick, because there are 56 of you guys here, and I do want to show this, check out the Army of the Dead Podio commentary. There is no spoilers. I can guarantee you that there are no spoilers in this, but what it does have is it has a lot of interesting information about the history of the movie and how it got made. If you want to check that out, you guys can do that. There's a link right there for that. I appreciate it. It's only like 20 minutes. Just give it a listen. If you like the Podio commentary stuff, next week I have another episode. Don't know what it's going to be yet, but it's going to be fun. And then also, if you like other things too, I do another show called Stranger Days. This is about a giant that doesn't exist, as some people think it does. And I'm currently putting that on a new platform, so keep an eye out for that. And yeah, thank you guys again for coming on by. Have yourself a great evening. Peace out.